It's honestly quite sad that this is the best movie DC's had in 3 years. DC League of Super Pets. Now, I obviously wasn't looking forward to this, and especially with my hatred of modern DC, I had a feeling that this was going to be an absolute train wreck. And especially after Green Lantern Beware My Power predictably was an even bigger letdown than I was anticipating. I was anticipating this one being about on the same level, but a different kind of bad. Surprisingly enough, this was better than Green Lantern Beware My Power, but not by much. This movie's a little hard to talk about because, like I said, this is probably the best film they've had since Shazam. But that doesn't say a ton. Now, I didn't like Joker. I will never understand why so many people call that movie a masterpiece. Same with The Batman. Didn't like it. I will never understand what people see in it. And Birds of Prey, garbage. Wonder Woman 84, garbage. Zack Snyder's Justice League, steaming pile of garbage. The Suicide Squad, major letdown, and borderline garbage for me. That's another one. I don't get what people are seeing in it. And their animated stuff hasn't been much better. Like I said, Green Lantern Beware My Power was crap. Their last few DC AMU movies were garbage. Injustice was dog shit. So, I obviously wasn't looking forward to seeing this movie. And, like I said, it wasn't terrible. It was less bad than I was anticipating, but that doesn't make it good. So, the main character in this movie is Krypto the Superdog, and that is actually an interesting idea. A DC League of Super Pets movie, like, in general, is not a bad idea for an animated kids movie, but they don't do much with it. They don't do enough with it, I think, is the problem. Now, something I want to talk about quick that is surprisingly good is most of the voice acting. Now, it's not a surprise that Dwayne Johnson does good as Krypto, even though I don't think he was really the right choice, but his voice acting was fine. I just don't think he was the right choice. Kevin Hart is probably the only weak point of the voice acting. It's not like his voice acting is terrible, but not only is this character not very funny, he's not given... I don't think he was given the proper voice direction. And Kate McKinnon, she always annoys the fuck out of me. She was a little less annoying here, but she still wasn't great. But honestly, the two best voice actors in this were Keanu Reeves as Batman and John Krasinski as Superman. That surprised the hell out of me, because Krasinski recently was in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness as Mr. Fantastic. So, you turn around and do DC with Superman. I didn't really understand the choice. I'm like, really? Of all people, this is who you casted as Superman? But he does a pretty damn good job with the role. And the same thing with Keanu Reeves as Batman. At first, when I first heard that, I thought that was the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Well, okay, that's not true, but it still didn't seem right. But he does extremely well as the character, and he said he'd want to play an older version of Batman. You know what? I would actually be down to seeing Reeves play the character in live action. You know what? If you want to try Krasinski in live action as Superman, go for it by this point. You might as well, because Cavill clearly has no interest in returning, and Batfleck's done, so you might as well get these two guys to play the roles. But my main problem with this movie is that it feels like the stakes feel very small despite them being very big. Like, the lives of the entirety of the Justice League are on the line. There's these huge battle sequences that happen, but they amount to nothing. I don't feel anything. There's no emotion here whatsoever. And I should briefly touch upon the rest of the Justice League as well. Wonder Woman is barely in it, and I don't like the costume design. Like, the boots go all the way up to her hips for some reason. And there's even a reference made to that the boots are too much. Yeah, and the skirt's not enough. It's Much like Zack Snyder's Justice League, the skirt is like just barely long enough to cover her ass, and that's about it. Like, the boots are too long and the skirt's not long enough. That's kind of a problem. The Flash is fine. His voice is really weird, though. I don't think the... As great as Reeves and Krasinski were, I don't think they got the right guy for the Flash. They put a female as Green Lantern for some reason, ignoring Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, and Guy Gardner for some reason, and creating this new one. Or, if she was from the comics, even I don't know about it. They gave Cyborg an afro for some reason. A decision I not only don't get, but I don't like. It looks stupid as hell. Why would you give Cyborg an afro? I know that really means nothing in the grand scheme of things, but that just bothers me. Why would you give Cyborg an afro? He shouldn't even have hair at this point, considering the experiments and everything that turned him into what he was. But, whatever. So, and the voice actress for Lois Lane is perfectly fine. Not much to talk about there. Lex Luthor does jack shit in this movie. Like, he's in prison the majority of the time, and his guinea pig, played by Kate McKinnon, is doing most of the work, and I get the idea. But even after that, Luthor doesn't do anything. The action sequences aren't that great to watch. They're not terrible per se, but they could have been better. As far as the humor goes, I thought that every joke was going to have me groaning, and there were a few of them. There were a few bad puns, and with the turtle, every once in a while she'll say something that the movie literally censors, like they literally bleep it out, like it's like when you have a rated R movie that's playing on fucking TBS or something, that they'll have it sent, that they'll bleep it out, and that's just... It's not funny. I don't get what they were... If they had it where she was, like, constantly swearing so bad that they kept having to censor, like, the bleeping was going off constantly, or they would, like, censor it with, like, a car alarm or a bell or something, that would have been funny. But no, it's just censored because, haha, this turtle said something that we're not allowed to hear. Why is that funny? Like, I've often said when it comes to PG-13 movies censoring F-bombs, if you can't put it in your movie, just don't put it in the movie. This isn't difficult, and I know they're doing it for a laugh here, but it's not funny, and I can't believe nobody said, no, this is just stupid. And yeah, so there are a few moments that got a laugh out of me, but not many. And most of them were in the first, like, 20, 30 minutes. There were a few that got a chuckle out of me during probably the last half hour-ish. But the middle stretch of the movie, I didn't laugh once. I just kind of sat there, not necessarily, like, hating the fact that I was watching this movie, more just sitting there in kind of a zombified state going, what else could I be doing right now? And honestly, since I'm still on summer break, there's not much. But I began there sitting there thinking, what could I be doing right now other than watching this fucking movie? And again, it's not even like the movie was god-awful or anything. It was just lame as hell. I'm gonna say the exact same thing I said about Zombies 3 and Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie. It's not shitty enough to hate, but it's not good enough to like. These last few reviews have all been in the same dead range of C and C minus. Like, I think my last 3 or 4 reviews have been a C or a C minus, and nothing in July has gotten higher than a C plus. That's ridiculous. The best movie I saw in July was Thor: Love and Thunder, and that got a C plus. And then the runner-up was Minions: The Rise of Gru, which also got a C plus. So my ranking of the July movies, which I'm hoping to get to tomorrow, or maybe later today, depends, but it's just going to be worst to best by default, apparently. I liked Thor and Minions well enough, but not a single movie passed a C+. And 2 of them got an F, so... Yeah, this wasn't a great month, despite the fact that it had the biggest lineup of movies that I've throughout the entire year. I don't really have much else to say about this movie. I'm giving DC League of Super Pets a C-. Again, it's not bad enough to rage at, but it's not good enough to praise. Like, there's little to be praised of. Like, even the animation is just kind of meh. It's not great. So that's all I got for DC League of Super Pets. Hopefully later today, I'm getting a July ranking in. So we'll see where this one stacks up against all the other movies. And yeah, I'll see y'all then. Bye.